They interrupted my video that I was just making when I was talking about the topic of why you shouldn't fall in love with the dead. So I'm making a whole nother one since they cut me off. They get mad when I talk about stuff that they don't want to hear. But if you don't like the program, change the channel. Find you somebody else to listen to. Find you somebody else to watch. If you don't like what I'm saying, find you something else to do. Okay? There's a big world out here. Listening to what Samantha's talking about, you don't have to do. Find you something else to do. Anyway, I was telling y'all why you don't fall in love with the dead. These people are spiritually dead. They've sold their soul to the biblical antichrist, which is Bill Gates. Okay? The Bible says it's the number of a man, 666. That is Bill's numerical value. That is his number. And they have sold their soul to him. Okay? And once you do such a thing, you become spiritually dead. Okay? You're dead. Your soul has left your body. You have no more feelings. You are cold as a piece of ice. You're dead. Spiritually. The biggest mistake I ever made was loving the dead. I loved certain people so much that I was blind to the fact that they were dead and they had no love in their body, none whatsoever. I was blind to that. I was blind to the fact that these people were spiritually dead. They had no feelings. You can love them with everything in your body, and they are cold as a piece of ice, dead. The Bible called them twice dead and plucked up by the root. They're dead. Biggest mistake I ever made was falling in love with them. Over all the mistakes I made in my life, I made some mistakes. The biggest mistake I ever made was falling in love with the dead. You don't do that. You can like them. You can be friends with them. You can do a lot of things. But you don't fall in love with the dead. I didn't know no better. I thought everybody was just like me. When I say me, I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking about Emmy. I'm talking about me, myself. Just to clarify. Somebody posted a meme on Facebook the other day, and it said, the biggest mistake, who's I've? I'm the I've. I've is a symbolism for a motherfucker who's real. Now, the number 5 is numerical value of anybody who's real. And they extracted the IV out of 5. That's what the IV is. IV just means you're real. But anyway, said the biggest mistake I've made was showing up at a costume party with my real face. That was so real. I love that. Because I showed up at a costume party with my real face. Yeah. I know now. What up, Chip? Right there, 5. Love. By the way, besides myself, I don't think there's anybody who is real left. I'm almost positive they have killed all of the real men. Anybody who's real. That's another thing. That's another type of individual they train these ICs to target. Anybody who's real. Okay? They target them and kill them. Bill and Emmy and the police can't control somebody who's real. They can control these fakes. Okay? They can't control somebody who's real. And they don't like that. They can control these nays. That's why Bill and Emmy regenerated them. Okay? If you turn a legitimate man into a woman, you suck all his power away from him. If you turn a woman into a man, you suck all her power away from him. Because God created us to be who He wanted us to be. Okay? And Bill and Emmy know that. If we transform all these jokers, we don't ever have to worry about nobody standing against us. And that's the way they look at it. And that's why they done it. That's why they have done that. You turn the whole world into a bunch of nays or a bunch of faggots. You don't have to worry about nobody standing against you. What are they gonna do? They nay or gay. What are they gonna do? Ain't nobody got no balls. In short, in a nutshell, ain't nobody got no balls. What are they gonna do? It takes balls to stand against these cowards, and they know it. I can't put my finger on exactly when this extermination of men started. But like I told you, my mother was born November the 2nd of 63. And they never told me my whole life that my mama used to be a man. I had to figure this out on my own. The only thing she told me that remotely, but I didn't know. I had no idea what that even meant back then. Okay? Because through school they ited me. Okay? They taught me it, and they taught the other kids those things that are supposedly not. They trained them in literature and stuff like that. And they taught me bullshit on purpose to intentionally blind me. Okay? So my mother used to tell me that she had a hysterectomy. A hysterectomy. What is a hysterectomy? Okay, well, she lied to me. First of all, she told me she had her female body parts taken out because she didn't want to get ovarian cancer or some bullcrap like that. That ain't what a hysterectomy is. It was actually quite the opposite of that. A hysterectomy is you have your male parts took off so you can be a damn woman. Which explains why the bitch used to grow a mustache. And I used to make fun. I feel a little bit bad, but had she told me the whole situation, I would have known. But I used to be like, Mama, you need to shave your mustache. You a woman. You're supposed to have no mustache. But the reason that she was growing a mustache is because she was originally a freaking man. A legitimate lady ain't gonna grow no mustache unless she's taking some type of hormones or receiving some type of shots for transformation. Under those circumstances, she may grow a mustache or a beard. But a lady in her normal body isn't gonna grow no mustache. God don't make no mistakes, and He ain't made no woman with no freaking mustache. He ain't made no lady with no mustache. Okay? But I didn't know back then what I know now. Okay? But like I said, at the same time, she did lie to me. Not telling me is the same thing as lying to me. Okay? I got a little bit older. I got out of jail, and now I know what a hysterectomy is. She got her penis chopped off. She had her male body parts removed. They completely transformed her into a freaking female. Simple as that. But they never told me that. Which brings me to my next question. Who is my mama? Because if that's the case, she couldn't have gave birth to me. I don't think. And I don't look anything like her. She's a brown from downtown. You know what I'm saying? My mama ain't had blue eyes. And when these male arcs, so-called arcs with blue eyes, are born, they do a lot of things. They either clip them and raise them up as females. They either nail them at childbirth, or they infect them with hepatitis. So they are certain that these boy arcs are going to die. These are evil people. Bill and Emmy are evil. These are evil people. These people, look, they need to be put in prison for the rest of their life. But if it wasn't against the law, they need to be put in the ground. Really, these are evil people. These are evil people. To take a child and do something like that, you're an evil individual. You need to be put in the ground. But anyway, they also take these children and separate them from their biological parents. They're born with blue eyes. They're actual males with Adam's apple and a penis. They'll take them and separate them from their biological parents, and the rain will raise them up. Okay? Like I said, who is my real mother? Who is my real father? I don't know. With that said, I don't know. They lied to me my whole life. Every one of my whole family, every one of them are working ICs. Every one of them. Every one of them. Okay? With that said, ain't no telling how many transformations these jokers have went through. There's no telling. I don't even know who these people are. And they raised me, and I don't even know who these people are. I really don't even know who these people are. I thought I did. I don't even know who these people are. You're talking about something that will make you cold? Everything that I've ever felt in my life, I'm numb to it, bro. I don't care. I can care less. I love my kids. I'll tell you something. I hurt somebody over my kids. But if they don't freaking call me, I don't care. If I don't see them, they got a telephone now. And I thank God that their aunt went out and bought, well, my oldest son, his mama got him a phone. But my youngest son, his aunt went out and got him a telephone. And I thank God that she did. I thank God that they done that. Because anytime them boys want to speak to me, they can pick up the phone and call me. If they don't, it don't bother me none. I don't care. I'm daddy. I'll always be here. But I don't care. I didn't know what freedom was until I let everything go. It makes me know, and I say this humbly, I say this respectfully, but it makes me no fucking difference who talks to me, who I see, who cares. I don't give a flying rat's behind.